Yo, it's MartydudeVR, and today we're going to be reviewing VR Platform and Peak. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Max Mustard for the PSVR2. Before we get into anything, I must say that this game is optimized, yes sir. Shout out Toast Interactive because I actually enjoy playing my review games comfortably without a lot of glitches and bugs. I tell you guys, I had literally no issues playing this in the review stage, and I only had maybe one crash. That was literally at the end of the game. This game literally has it all, guys. A fun, quirky, colorful world, engaging gameplay. But before we get into all that though, I must ask you guys to like and subscribe. I notice a lot of you guys pull up to the channel and not sub, so help your boy out and leave a like, sub, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. But let's get into the review. First things first, we gotta talk about the story. Max Mustard actually has a fun little narrative you discover through notes from the main villain's son after each level, which adds a layer of POV to the story that you don't get with a lot of platforming games. So the gist of the story, without spoiling anything, because we don't spoil here, is that the small but mighty inventor Max Mustard witnesses small creatures being kidnapped by a businessman named Stubbins. Ooh. And Stubbins has a mechanical workforce that he uses to terrorize. Stubbins then sells these creatures called mud pups as an elitist product to the wealthy. Basically, to kind of boil it down, it's really reminiscent of Sonic and Eggman and their dynamics of Eggman kidnapping animals and Sonic having to save them, but without the speed and my boy Tails. Shout out Tails. But Stubbins actually is fleshed out as a character, which is really awesome to see in these type of games. The story also gets really real at certain points because the notes you start reading are really dark, despite the really colorful art style of the game. But who do you play? You play as the navigator who helps Max get around without dying a horrible death on an alien planet. It's actually really cool how you get a role in the game instead of being like a pair of floating, controllers, which is cool, don't get me wrong, but you gotta add a little bit of immersion to it. All right, now onto the gameplay, because Max Mustard really delivers here. This game has 40 levels of fun, and they all come in different flavors. You got your platforming levels, music levels, shooting levels, and even these crazy coin frenzy levels. Each type of level brings something fresh to the experience, keeping you engaged the whole time. Like, this is one of the few games that genuinely gives me the same feeling as like a Super Mario 3D Land or even like an Astro Bot on the original PSVR 1, and I absolutely love it. The platforming is tight and satisfying, and I can't stress enough how insanely difficult the shooting levels are. You know what? I will give you an example. Watch this. See what I'm talking about? Like, bro, you need to be moving at max speed. No pun intended. And even moving at max speed, I couldn't even beat some of the later shooting levels. So you might have to be John Wick to actually get this off. And those coin frenzy levels I mentioned earlier, they're fast-paced, chaotic, and will have you chasing coins like your life depends on it. And throughout the game, after you collect those coins, you can use them in the shop to buy upgrades for Max, whether it be getting faster sprinting or getting a new gadget for Max, dashing. There's a lot of things you can do and upgrade in the shop system. And it actually gives you a motivation to collect all the coins you see. Speaking of seeing, if you can't see without glasses in VR, go to vrrock.com and get you some prescription lenses for your PSVR2 or any VR headset you may have. With fast shipping, great customer service, and honestly amazing prices, VRRock is my go-to for prescription lenses for VR, hands down. And honestly, guys, we need to zoom in for me to say this. You shouldn't have to pay more for something that you can't control. Use code MartydudeVR to get 10% off. Help me help you save some money. What I also love about this game is how different each level really feels, and just when you think you've seen it all in the game throws in some random power-up or platform obstacle that totally changes how you have to play. It's cool how in certain levels or even parts of a level, you get a power-up, which can be like a wind vacuum that shoots enemies or plunger pistols that help Max get around and hit switches and stuff. Each power-up you get keeps the gameplay feeling refreshing, and you constantly are adapting to new challenges. My favorite power-up had to be the rocket boots, which give like Max a LeBron level of just hoppage, because they were just so fun to use and really added a different layer on how you had to approach different levels. And speaking of levels, we can't forget the level picker slash the main hub. So it's located in Max's like super space rocket van, and it's honestly one of the coolest parts of the game. You hop in and you're greeted with this very fun, interactive environment where you get to choose your next level. And honestly reminds me of like Mario and how he kind of runs around the map, or like a game board. So it's really dope and nostalgic how they present it. One of the coolest parts of Max Mustard to me is the level of immersion you get just being in the game. I mean, you can literally wave at Max with your controllers. And I did this a lot because honestly, look at this face. That little dude is adorable. Honestly, like the cutest little thing. And even when you're in these levels, you can take a look around, just take in every colorful, well-rendered detail in this game. I mean, it looks stunning on the PSVR2 with those OLED lenses, and the colors with the HDR really pops out when you're playing it on the PSVR2. Artistically, I would say it's probably one of the funnest looking VR games I played recently, and we really need more games like this. And speaking back on those mud pups I mentioned earlier, those little cage creatures are in every level, and there's usually 3 of them. And now we got to talk about the boss battles. The boss battles are some of the most fun and interactive fights I've ever come across in a VR platforming game. Every boss battle in this game uses multiple gameplay mechanics, whether it be the platforming, the shooting, or even the puzzle solving. They give you a unique experience with every boss. You're never really just doing one thing in this game. It's just always a constant switch up. This helps to keep you really on your toes, and I gotta admit, the bosses are huge. For example, look at this giant hornet from hell. Like, look, this thing is terrifying, right? Like that. Seeing that in VR was not fun, but I was glad when it died. The combination of these gameplay elements, the boss battles, the power-ups, the progression, the upgrade system, makes each level and encounter feel dynamic and rewarding. You're not just playing to finish a level, you're playing to grow and get better gear for Max. Max Mustard is just a constant loop of fun that keeps you invested the whole time. Honestly guys, this review is gonna be on the shorter side because I legitimately have no gripes about this game. If you're on PSVR2 or really any VR headset, you'd be insane not to grab this game. To reiterate for the people who might have skipped to the end, Max Mustard is an absolute blast on PSVR2 with its 40 levels of VR greatness, super engaging boss battles, creative power-ups. This game offers something for everyone. The visuals are fantastic, the optimization is there, the gameplay is tight, and the humor is really good. It's just quirky, colorful, and it's an honest to God good time. All right, Max, it was good seeing you, man. I hope you have a good one. See you next time, buddy. As always, guys, let me know what you think about this game, just watching the gameplay, and let me know how you feel when you actually get to play it. Don't forget to comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like I said before, so you don't miss out on any of my future VR content. Thanks again for watching. It's been with MartydudeVR, and remember, I'm just a dude with a VR headset. Peace.